The immigration issue is dividing our nation. 100 years ago, people came to this country to become Americans. Now, with political correctness encouraging cultural identity, people from foreign lands no longer feel the need to assimilate. People who have come here illegally are demonstrating on the street. Once quietly working at lower-paying jobs, they are now making strident demands for amnesty, for better wages, and to share in the American dream. And now the backlash is beginning to be heard. American citizens are becoming outraged at the utter presumption of these foreigners. Is this what the agitators want with their mass protests and demonstrations?
What are you doing here? How proud can you be of Mexico? Not even the people of Mexico want to be in Mexico.
Please, get quiet. Don't even pay attention.
You don't see no Americans crawling over the fence trying to get into Mexico. You see Mexicans coming over trying to be Anglo. Why don't you just go home and be a Mexican, be a proud man?
Is this what the agitators want with their mass protests and demonstrations? They must know that American workers resent foreign freeloaders from making demands on our welfare systems, reducing our quality of life, and overloading our public services. What is their goal with these demonstrations? Do they want to foster resentment and encourage racial strife? We'll find out when we talk with one of the organizers of the Day Without Immigrants, Nativo Virgil Lopez, next on Full Disclosure. Of our interview with Nativo Virgil Lopez. Nativo is the president of MAPA, the Mexican-American Political Association. What role did the Catholic Church have in developing his zeal as a social activist? We asked him, did his religious upbringing encourage him to become a militant?
Absolutely. As all Mexican families, a very religious, devout family. I even considered at one time, entering the seminary at a young age, but my family was very Catholic.
Cardinal Roger Mahony has been criticized for his advocacy of immigrants. Some people think he should stick to spreading the gospel and not to getting involved in politics. We asked Nativo if he thought the Cardinal was stepping across the line between church and state.
No, absolutely not. He was playing the role of the leader of his flock, of his church, protecting his flock, protecting his constituency, not much different than any other political leader in the country or religious leader in the country, would also take a strong stand in protecting his or her constituency.
Commentator Lou Dobbs conducted an on-the-air interview with Nativo Lopez, which turned quite ugly. Here are a few seconds of that segment of the interview, followed by Nativo's explanation.
You're talking about a boycott of all illegal aliens in this country?
Well, first of all, I refute your terminology. You don't say kike, patty, wop. Okay, you don't say nigger.
Partner, I don't even listen to that kind of language.
Well, then,
I don't even listen to that.
You're using
no,
language
you pollute the air. You pollute the air.
Offensive to my people.
And you are wrong.
Every day,
you are wrong.
You are absolutely wrong.
You have the distinction of using language that is never.
It's denigrating, and don't use that terminology to me.
Let me tell you what.
Referring to my people.
Let me tell you what.
Well, first of all, I don't mind dishing out as much as I get. I'm fearless in that way of debating any of these individuals. They're known as hate mongers, using the public media, either radio or television.
We've asked Nativo to explain what is improper about referring to people who are in the country illegally. What is wrong with the term illegal immigrant?
And we take it, and I take it very offensively that he would call me an illegal alien. I'm not a wop, I'm not a kike, I'm not a patty, I'm not a nigger, I'm not an illegal alien.
Well, what would you call somebody that's here in the country illegally?
Migrant. He's a migrant worker. He's a human being. No human being is illegal.
Is there a difference between someone that comes here with permission versus someone that does not have permission?
The most common denominator of all workers, irrespective of their race, their sex, their nationality, their immigration status, is that all workers create value.
Are you for an open border?
Absolutely. I'm for an open border for capital, for goods, and for labor. There's no reason we should not have a common market between Canada, United States and Mexico, similar to what has occurred in Europe, to strengthen the economies of these three countries.
Okay.
Tremendous natural resources, tremendous human resources, and we would be a competitive bloc with any other country in the world if we did so.
There is a significant movement within the Latino community to reclaim the majority of the Southwest American states and form a new land called Aztlan. We asked Nativo to explain, what is this all about?
That term was used in the 1960s by students of the Chicano student movement to create an organization of advocacy for student rights, steeped in a sense of our own history, our roots, ultimately going back to indigenous peoples of the Aztecs, and still is used by that organization today. It's called MECHA, the Mexican American Student Organization, that has as part of its name the term Aztlan.
The letters in the name of the student organization MECHA refers to Movimiento Estudiantil Chicano de Aztlan, or the student movement for Chicanos of Aztlan. Their stated purpose is, I quote, to organize any student who accepts, believes, and works for the goals and objectives of MECHA, including the liberation of Aztlan, meaning self-determination of our people in this occupied state and the physical liberation of our land, end of quote. Members of this organization include LA's Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, California's Senator Gil Cedillo, and U.S. Congressman Joe Baca. This doesn't seem to be a minor fringe group of radicals within the Latino community. What is the real purpose of MECHA, La Raza, and the other Chicano groups? To improve conditions for immigrants or to take over the southwestern states?
There's a dispute about that. Some would advocate, for example, that the southwest of the United States would be reincorporated into the Republic of Mexico. Okay? Some would say that the southwest of the United States should be become independent of both the United States and of Mexico. So, as I say, it's a minutely minority current of opinion amongst Mexican Americans and Mexicans and Latinos. People don't go backwards. If our social system and our system of governance is more advanced than what they've experienced in Mexico, people are not going to throw out the window the new things that they've learned and what they've enjoyed and participation in civil society as we know it here in the United States, to go back to a system that is not completely open to those levels of participation. The demand in our community is not for reattaching any territory to the Republic of Mexico. It's for integration. Maybe not complete assimilation as Anglo-Americans or European Americans, for example, would like. We want to become Americans. We want to become U.S. citizens. We want to have peace in our family. We want to be left alone. We want to stop being discriminated against and treated as less than other Americans.
So tear down the wall, give blanket amnesty to all current illegal immigrants. What else does he want, we asked him.
And demand an end to H.R. 4437, the Sensenbrenner bill, akin to the Fugitive Slave Law of 1850, and also to demand immediate and universal legalization of all those currently in the United States without legal documents.
Do you think that it's a coincidence that the socialists and communists have embraced the immigrant rights movement? Or are they seriously planning to annex the southwestern United States?